Hey guys, it's Troy. Welcome to another episode. The courage that most men never develop. The courage that most men never develop is the courage to let it all burn. Okay? I don't mean literally. I mean in your life. The courage to leave situations, to blow situations up before they destroy you. Okay? Most men never develop the courage to do this. Most men stay in situations that are quietly destroying them, okay? They stay in marriages that are quietly tearing their souls apart. They stay in jobs that are killing their souls. They stay living in places that they hate because of obligations that they feel they have to other people and to other institutions and to situations that they've created for themselves. The keys to the kingdom are in your own hand. The keys to your freedom are in your own hand, okay? You can go at any time. You can go whenever you like. You're the one who makes the decision not to, okay? And, you know, people will get caught in scenarios that they just don't want or they're uncertain about. You know, and I speak for myself here. This has happened to me many times, and many times I've had to extricate myself from situations that I didn't really want to be in, okay? And it's painful, and it hurts, and you suffer damage, and potentially other people do as well, and that is hugely regrettable, okay? That is hugely regrettable. But for the greater good, in the longer term, you know, if you're in a situation and you're not happy, probably the other person's not happy either, or they're not going to be happy long term. And sometimes somebody has to be the adult in the room and say, this isn't working, and they got to pull the plug, okay? This happened to me. I was in a job that I didn't particularly like, or rather I used to like it, and then over time I started to like it less and less and less. There were lots of changes in structure, there were lots of changes in management and the politics and everything, and it became very fraught. And they made moves to start to push me out. And I saw the writing was on the wall. And so I walked out the building. I said to myself, I'm never going to return here. I was signed off for a period of time because I was unwell, and I sued the company. Okay, I sued the company for the way that they'd handled that situation. You know, it was stressful. There was an upheaval, you know, it was unpleasant at times. It required a lot of fortitude on my part. It cost money, okay? It was not an easy ride by any means, but I did it, and it was the right thing to do it, because in doing it, I got out of a situation that was slowly suffocating me, and I got into a new life, and I started an entirely new life, and that new life led me into opportunities and situations that I could never have dreamt of in my previous incarnation. Sometimes we have to destroy everything that's around us in order to move on to the next stage, okay? And most men never develop the courage to do that. And I can understand why. Because doing that kind of thing is incredibly difficult, all right? Doing that kind of thing is not easy, because we want to cling to the comfort that we have surrounded ourselves with, okay? We want to hold on to that comfort blanket that we have fashioned ourselves over years of sitting there knitting and trying to avoid the horrible truth that our lives are not going in the direction that we want to. It might be a relationship. I have a client at the moment who is in a relationship he doesn't want to be in, okay? With somebody that he doesn't really like. And he's having terrible, terrible problems with trying to figure out whether to leave said person or not. And the longer that he pushes back that decision, okay, the more entrenched he's becoming in that scenario, the more ensnared he's becoming with the other person. So this isn't, when you're in this sort of a situation, it's not enough to say, okay, well, I'll just put it off for a bit, I'll kick the can down the road, because it's not equal. Okay, this part of the road here and over here where you kick the can to, those are not equal. Okay, down here where the can's been kicked to, that's a lot harder to get out of. All right, there's quicksand over there, there's a swamp over there. Okay, here it might be reasonably easy to pick up the can and go home. Over there, it's going to be a lot harder to pick up the can. Okay, the can is getting stuck in the mud, it's getting sucked down into that quicksand. Okay, it's getting covered in vines in the jungle. So you've got to understand, when you're in one of these situations, and watching this, you're going to know. Okay, watching this, you're going to know. If you're in a situation like this, you're going to be like, yeah, this is resonating, I get what he's saying here. If you're not, you're going to be thinking, what's he talking about? Why is there all that weird music in the background? There's a protest over there. But if you're resonating with this, you get what I'm saying, and you're probably in this situation now, right? And I'm here to tell you, it's going to get worse. Okay, it never gets better. All right, it never gets better. You might be hanging on in that situation, hoping that the other person is gonna, or the other party is gonna solve the situation for you. You might be hoping, well, maybe they'll get rid of me, or maybe she'll dump me, or maybe she'll divorce me, or have an affair with the milkman or something like that. That might happen, but you've also got to think about your self-respect. You've also got to think about where's your agency in this, right? If you are a guy who is looking to be the best version of himself, okay, but you are waiting on somebody else to release you from somebody you probably shouldn't have been in the first place, that's just a very substandard way of operating in the world, okay? We want to be people who create our own reality. We don't want to be people who are beholden to the fates, who are beholden to the whims of others, okay? Why? Because we only get one shot at this, okay? We only get one shot at this damn thing. And then we're dead, okay? You know? So you've got a very, very brief spell on this planet. I've got an even briefer spell. I've probably got about 25 minutes left. Most people watching this, we've got a few decades. We get a few good decades, okay? And then it all goes black. And we perish and our reality is incinerated and that's it, okay? It's very easy to forget that. It's very easy to forget that. It's very easy to overlook that. And we try all of our lives to push that reality to one side, to overlook that. But it's true. We're all gonna die. We don't have a lot of time. We get one shot at this, okay? So I would beseech you, if you're in a situation where you're not happy and the walls are closing in and you're trying to figure out what to do, you need to do something, and you need to do something quickly, because the situation's not going to get easier, it's only going to get worse, and you're going to be unhappy for longer, and you're going to have to pick up the pieces for longer if you don't take action now. So if you're having problems with this, something like this resonates, drop me an email, troy@realtroyfrancis.com, and maybe I can help. Maybe I can't, but maybe I can. Drop me an email. Also, our course, Approach Accelerator, is open now for new students. We've got a few places left, so please do drop me an email on that, troy@realtroyfrancis.com. And also, if you're interested in escaping the cold winter in Europe and you want to go to Brazil, which would be a great thing to do, we have an event coming up in Rio de Janeiro for Carnival, the 2nd, is that right? It's in early February anyway. No, the 13th to the 21st of February, okay? If you're interested in coming on to that with me and James Tusk, drop me an email, troy@realtroyfrancis.com. Give me a like, give me a comment, subscribe to the channels, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.